Hey guys, it's Lydia here, and for today's video I'm going to be doing a stretching routine to loosen up your hips. So this is great if your hips are just feeling tight or if you really just want to get flexible, because hip flexibility is great for splits, middle splits, and straight side splits, and just a bunch of other different moves. So without further ado, let's just dive in. I'd recommend warming up first, so I will link below my 5-minute warm-up, and let's dive in. Okay, so for the first stretch, have your legs a little more than hip distance apart and then sit down into a deep squat. Really want to push your knees to the back. And then for the next one, kind of sit down in your squat, but you're still squatting, if that makes sense, and then still try to push your knees back. This is a slightly different stretch, but it's still like kind of stretching out your hips. And if you feel any pain in your knees, maybe you should go up to the other one and just hold that. So then finally sit down, and then we're going to go into a butterfly. So bring your feet together in front of you and push down on your knees. You should be feeling a really good stretch in your inner thighs here for all of those stretches. So then reach up, and we're going to reach forward in this pose. So come on up, and then we're going to go into a straddle, like so. And then we're going to start by reaching inside of one of your legs. So come up to one leg, but instead of reaching over top of it, reach slightly towards the inside. So then come to the center, and we're going to reach just forward, kind of like we did in that butterfly sit. For this, try to keep your back flat. So don't bring your head to the ground, try to bring your chest to the ground. And make sure that your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling, so don't let them come in. And then we're just going to do reaching in on the inside of your leg on the other side. A lot of times one side is going to be more flexible than the other, or less. This side is not as flexible, so just take your time. Don't feel like you have to go as far down as the last side. Just take your time with it. Alrighty, so come on up and then rotate rotate your legs out to a pigeon. So that's where your front leg is bent and your back leg is straight like a split. And we're just going to hold it here. Okay, so then bend in your back leg and pull it towards you. This is it's like stretching your hips but also stretching the thigh of this bent leg. So it's two birds in one stone. So then release that leg and we're going to repeat those two stretches on the other side. One leg is probably going to be a little more flexible. Alrighty, so then bend in the back leg. That leg, and then we're going to go into a lunge. So come onto your knee like this, and we're going to start by just placing one hand on the ground. And then lift up, place your hands on your knee. This is going to push your hips even more forward and give you an even better stretch. So then come down and we're going to place our elbows on the ground this time. And this is going to be a slightly different stretch than the last one because before it was really strong in this hip flexor. This, it's a little bit different. It's almost more in the front leg. Everyone feels these stretches differently, so you might feel it anywhere. Just depending, it's probably going to just be somewhere in your hips. Yeah, this is a really deep stretch. And if you feel like any of these are too advanced, you can always just stay at that first variation I showed. Alrighty, so then come on up, and we're gonna switch sides to do that all on the other leg. Starting with just kind of the basic variation, keeping one hand on the ground, one hand is on this knee. This is really good, just kind of as a beginner stretch, or like if you feel like your hips are a little bit tight, you just need some time to kind of loosen them up. Start with this and then you progress. Alrighty, and then we're going to progress. So bring your hands to your knee. Your goal is to bring this back thigh towards the ground. Really try to push those hips forward and try to release any tension. Alright, so now let's go on to our elbows. And by releasing tension, I just mean oftentimes when you're stretching, you can like be tightening the muscles, but you really just want to let it all go. Every time you breathe out, just try to get deeper into the stretch and really relax your body. And we're going to be doing some side lunges. So basically what you're going to do is have one leg straight, one leg bent, your hands should be on the ground, and you're just going to alternate from side to side. Relax, come to seating, and then for this one, I've done this a few times, but if you don't remember, basically you're just going to sit like this, your knees should be in front of you, you're going to pull one knee in towards the other without lifting that hip off the ground. So you should be feeling a really good stretch, and kind of like right underneath your glute. Kind of, it's a different place that we normally don't stretch out on our hips. That's really good. We want to make sure to not like let your legs fall. You're just bringing that knee in. And some of you might like barely move it in and be like, oh, I feel that. Others, you might go way down and have to feel the stretch. We're all at different levels, and that's okay. I really love the stretching routine because it gets like all the parts of your hips. Alright, so switch sides. See, my hip is not coming off the ground. Alrighty, so then there's two options for this next stretch. One, you can stay like this and do a figure four like so, or you can go onto your back for a deeper stretch, and I'm going to do that. So come into your back, bring one knee in, and pull it towards you. And then switch sides. Alright, so for this next one, it's a slightly different move. What you're going to do is bring one knee up and then circle it around. So you're going to bring it out and then come back. Now we're just going to do that for the whole 30 seconds. And this is really going to open up your hip. This is also just kind of like a good warm-up move. So if your hips are feeling really tight, just do those circles. Bring it up to the side and back. Each time you can get a little bit lower. Bring that knee closer to the ground. Alrighty, so then come on up and we're going to do that on the other side. So lie down, bring the knee into your chest, bring it to the side and back. Alrighty, so then come on up, and for the last stretch we're going to do a frog pose. So basically for this, what you're going to do is have your knees really wide, like you're going to do like the middle splits or something. It's kind of a similar position. And what I want you to do is have your hips directly over in line with your knees, so they shouldn't be coming back or coming forward. And if you want to, you can go onto your elbows for this. A really good stretch for getting your middle splits, because it's basically the same muscles that are stretching. It's like the same position really, it's just that your legs would be straight. You can kind of pulse back and forth here if you're feeling a little bit tight. Alrighty, and then come on up. And that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. Be sure to subscribe below because I post workouts every single Tuesday and Saturday on this channel. This was the last video of my July stretching challenge, but don't worry, I have a lot more stretching routines and challenges coming up. One in September, which I'm so excited about, so you better subscribe so you don't miss that challenge. And I have just like so much fun content coming out that I'm so excited for you guys to see. So subscribe, hit the bell, comment below about what video you'd like me to do next, and I will see you soon. Bye guys!